Dead Island 2 has finally arrived. After years of waiting, constant changes through developers, it is now here. And very recently, we had a whole new slew of information being released into the world. Information regarding New Game Plus, a photo mode, how long it's going to take to beat the game, information about computer specs, and crossplay, and it's not exactly the best of news. It's a little bit concerning, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. I do want to go ahead and talk about the brand new 11 minutes of footage that we just recently got, starring our hunk of a guy right here, Ryan, our favorite male stripper character. And I have to say, this gameplay experience was vastly different than when I went ahead and had my hands-on experience with it. And it's actually for the better. For me, my demo, it was a little bit chaotic, dialogue was a little bit goofy, and so was the overall premise. Most of the time, I found myself in situations that weren't meant to be taken too seriously. It was more so just, here are the tools, have some fun, keep killing, keep swinging, keep slashing, watch their flesh melt and their skin peel away, you know, ordinary stuff to get you to crack a smile. My character at the time, Amy, had a lot of clips, a lot of unnecessary chatter. But in this new gameplay, Ryan, Silent Chad, doesn't speak too much cringe out here. The gameplay was from IGN, and goddamn, it looked great, which you can't really say about IGN gameplays nowadays. I'm looking at you, Redfall. This mission had a more grounded and serious approach to it, which I'm all for. It's good to see that the game will have some moments to dial it back and not go too crazy with its over-the-top nature. It does once again show that the combat is a lot more slow-paced, it's more tactical, which I know is not for everyone, so what you're seeing is what you're getting. You see these swings? That's exactly how it feels in-game. Don't go into this game expecting fast-paced action, slow movement, and slow swinging are honestly this game's best friend. It could change as you progress with more skills over time, but just have this expectation going into it. The gameplay showed off the prologue, which I'm imagining this is the part that you need to complete in order to play co-op with 3 of your friends. Actually, scratch that, you need to kick out the one friend you dislike the most because this game's actually 3-player co-op. The prologue section goes directly with the leaks that we have had for so many years at this point. Plane crashes, then you need to take your stripper self through various parts to go ahead and get out. And as you progress through, Ryan slowly discovers the horrors that are waiting for him, and he has to deal with it accordingly. And we begin this story right from the very beginning of the downfall of LA. So that should go and put some things into perspective for you, timeline-wise. And as Ryan moves around, I spoke on this in my early access review, but the interiors in here in Dead Island 2 are exceptional. I love seeing the attention to detail here. Seeing little objects react to the world around it really helps paint a picture that the world is alive. There's life breathing into this. And then during the prologue, you go ahead and meet a character, Emma, who gives you an address to go to, and Emma is actually an old fling of Sam B. You remember Sam B? You remember this guy right here? Well, he's back, he's here to stay, he's working on a new album called Hell A. He's in the game, you can talk to him, you can get missions from him too. It's pretty exciting to see and hear that our former characters from Dead Island 1 will be playing a pretty big role in this game. But now this leads me to the question that so many of you keep asking me over and over: do I need to play Dead Island 1 and Riptide in order to understand Dead Island 2? Simple answer, no, you don't. The lead narrative designer has come out to state that they developed Dead Island 2 with the intention that it could be played and enjoyed by people coming into the franchise fresh. It is not required to play previous titles to enjoy the new experience Dambuster has created. Although, I wave my finger around here, there will be subtle nods and Easter eggs in 1 or 2 situations that call back to the previous games. There will be references and little hints to the original characters too, but going into this, you don't need to know every single event or any of the events of Dead Island 1 and Dead Island Riptide. And based off of my experience with this game so far, you can take the game, throw it in your console, install it, and play right away. That is, however, after you spend a good amount of time going and installing the game. If you're on PS4, it's going to be 20 gigs, and if you're on PS5, it's 48 gigs. If you're on Xbox Series X and Series S, it's 67. If you're on Xbox One, no one knows, man. If you're on PC, if you're on Steam, it's gonna take you a year to install that shit. For people on Epic Game Store, expect it to be around 50 to 70 gigs as well. But don't forget, all of those versions, all of those file sizes that I just named, you still got a day 1 patch on top of that too. But now I want to go ahead and slowly shift to the concern section of this video. I know my title and my stance may be a little confusing. How can it be incredible and also concerning at the same time? Let me explain. Like I said, gameplay looks incredible. I gushed about it already for a few minutes, but all the other stuff that's going on surrounding it kind of irks me the wrong way. It's little bits and pieces of red flags here and there. Those PC specs, goddamn. Some new information that we also received is in regards to difficulty, new game plus, end game content, how long it takes to beat the game, and also a photo mode. Now, according to Joy Raptor, another YouTuber, he spoke with the narrative director at a Dead Island 2 event, and when it comes to launch day, there will not be new game plus and there will not be a photo mode. That's to say it won't ever come, but just when the game ships, it's not happening. When it comes to difficulty, there is only one option available, which I'm a little bit mixed on. I think some of the best ways to get replayability out of your game is fine-tuning how difficult you want it to be for the player. The experience of Dead Island 2, it's actually going to last you around 20 hours of gameplay, and that's including side content. And some of the side missions they only unlock after beating the main story. And in Dead Island 2, there are a total of 24 missions, 33 side quests, 15 lost and found quests, 50 blueprints, 501 journals to collect, 84 challenges to beat, ranging from weapons, combat, survivor, and exploration challenges. You also have 124 Zompedia entries to unlock, 64 skills to unlock, and lastly, 212 named enemy zombies to slay. Side activity alongside the main story, it's going to be taking you around 20 hours, which is a little bit on the shorter side. So I would advise some of you to proceed with caution. It's a pretty steep price to pay for that value. Honestly, if you're going into this game expecting to be playing it for hundreds of hours, based off of what I played, it's not that type of game at all. You're going to play it once, maybe twice, do all the side activities, and then not really touch it for a long period of time until the next DLCs come out. But it doesn't actually end here. Our list of new information just keeps going on, and this is where a lot of people are going to have major complaints. Starting with crossplay. It's not happening, although cross-gen is coming, so that's a plus. When it comes to crossplay coming later down the road, Dan Buster did not have any additional comment on this, so if I had to say so, it's probably just not coming at all. But for cross-gen and also other areas of co-op, they will go ahead and touch more on this in a future blog post outlining what exactly co-op entails. That'll be coming sometime before release. But to go ahead and get some good news, at least the HUD is completely customizable. If you want to turn off the health bars, stamina bars, damage numbers, you can do exactly that. The player can now go ahead and pick exactly what they want, which I think is actually awesome. It's a major feature that's becoming more and more common nowadays when games are released. It's a huge plus for accessibility, which I absolutely adore. But lastly, the main one, the big one, the PC specs were revealed. And holy shit, this game is quite intense. It's gonna require quite a beefy computer if you want to run this, especially if you want to run this on 4K Ultra. In a previous video, I did say that I played Dead Island 2 at an event. I suspected that the game was running on super high-end PCs, and this confirms it. The optimization and how it ran there was beautiful and quite exceptional, to be honest, but it had the hardware to back it up. Minimum for 1080p 30 FPS is a 1060, which, okay, that's pretty reasonable. Recommended with 60 is a 2070 and an Intel i9. Jesus Christ, that's quite a lot. And then if we look at high, we have a 3070, Ultra, 3090. Honestly, the recommended section right here is starting to lean more towards higher end PCs. For me, I don't think I'm even capable of running this on high. I'll probably be right at recommended. It's gonna be quite intense, and I'm gonna be real with you. If this is what it looks like on PC, I have no idea how they're going to get this game to run on last gen console, and that is something to be a little weary about. Make sure you know exactly what you're getting into. They did confirm that it's going to be 30 FPS, but at the time of this video being recorded, they haven't shown off any last gen footage at all. The specs are quite hefty, and not a lot of people have this luxury, and because of this and a combination of all the other things I listed, that's where my main concerns arise. But to end, I will say, remember, don't pre-order games. Wait for reviews, wait for the embargoes to drop. I'll be doing my first impressions for this game very early on to give you the best and most unfiltered thoughts on my experience. And if you haven't already, go ahead, check out my previous videos. There's a whole lot of Dead Island 2 information in there for you to indulge on. And if you want to go ahead and support the channel further, I decided to partner with Gamers Sub. I highly recommend you check them out. Some of the best tasting gaming energy drinks available right now. If you use the link down below, get a nice little discount and you support me further. And with all that said, I'll see you later. Bye bye.